So Lamar Jackson has showed up to OTAs. He is there. He is with the Baltimore Ravens. He's there. Now, John Harbaugh did talk about, the importance of everybody being there. He would like everybody involved. Mark Andrews, Odell Beckham Jr., they are currently working out in Arizona, so they are not there. But Lamar Jackson is there after missing the first day or so. What did he miss specifically? Was it just the first day? Whatever it was, he missed the start. Here's my question.
Are you sure on this?
Because he said that he wanted to be there, and he, obviously they've got a new offense to learn and all
Flock
that.
gang, baby.
So the importance of him being there is to trying to get accustomed to everybody and all the surrounding pieces and parts and all that. But shouldn't that be every year if you're a quarterback? Like, do players at these teams that are taking part in this kind of give the side eye to even veteran quarterbacks who aren't there for voluntary OTAs? Like, it feels like it might be perceived as a bad look, quote unquote, if the starting quarterback of the team is not partaking while you've got, 60, 70, 80% of the roster there working out with the team.
It depends. I mean, I think if you've been there a long time and you're, comfortable and confident enough with the offense, it's not mandatory. We've seen other guys not be there and do it. I think the only thing that would cause you to be a bit concerned is you do have a new offense. Todd Monken's there now calling plays for Baltimore, which is different. That's part of it. And then you've got new additions to the team. You've got Odell Beckham. You've got Nelson Aguilar. You got Zay Flowers, a draft pick. And so you want to develop chemistry with those guys, and it's going to take time. You need all the reps you can get because you really just don't get them as much as you used to. So I don't, I'd look at it and say it's not that big of a deal, but you'd like Lamar to be there, with those things in consideration. But look, if some of those guys aren't even there, if OBJ and Mark Andrews and guys are working somewhere else, then it's kind of tough because you could be just working out with them, getting down the timing and chemistry, or you be with, the rest of the team. But I think after the investment the team made in him, they'd probably like him to be around. Your quarterback a lot of times is one of the leaders and sets the culture and sets kind of the precedent. And so that's probably more from at least the ownership standpoint what they'd like to see, and especially with Monk in there in a new offense, which Lamar's well aware of that. I mean, it's why he only missed a day. I think he was at least there for the second one.
Yeah, I think there's more than enough reasons for everyone to be there, right? Yeah. Like, even if you work out in different places, the team underperformed last year. OBJ's fighting for his career. You have so much going on in Baltimore. If they really want to have the type of season that they're probably all expecting to have. I mean, this was a team coming into last season. A lot of people were high on them for being a Super Bowl contender, including myself. So to come up as short as they did, I would assume everybody's going to be there. And if you're not there, then I would ask the question to you guys, doesn't that expose your commitment level? Like, even if you are a guy, like, and I get it, guys train where they train. They want to train with their trainers and stuff like that. I get all that. I really do.
OBJ's not being there is kind of weird, right?
That's weird because you're fighting for your career. Like, show this team that you want, like, I want to be here, I'm going to be here, and there's no reason for you to cut me or anything like that, because for what it's worth, you could get a contract and still get cut from the team. I mean, you're not guaranteed you're going to be on that team come final roster cuts. It's not guaranteed you'll be on that team come first, second game pass. Like, if they get off to a rocky start, OBJ's ass probably be one of the first ones they get rid of. So, I mean, to me, I think there's just so much at stake for the Ravens. And Cincinnati seemed to distance themselves from the rest of the teams in the AFC North. I don't feel like the Steelers are going to stay down for long. I don't know when that turnaround comes, but I just don't feel like they're going to stay where they're at for long. So they're going to improve. I mean, you got Massage Watson coming in for a full season this year. I don't know what that's going. I don't know what that looks like, but you would assume
he's coming in for a 120-minute massage. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't. I would assume they're going to
2 hours shebang.
Man, I'm assuming that they're going to be better.
I venture to guess he doesn't make it that far, the massage.
Wow.
Just you had to take the under.
No.
That would be the way I would go.
Oh, no.
But it just is kind of weird that OBJ in the spot he's at in his career
Would not be
just not there.
Yeah,
It's kind of odd.
The first thing that comes to mind, and forgive me if for some strange reason, there's a legitimate, valid reason why he's not there. Like, let me first preface that. But if I'm just going off of surface level, and this could be irresponsible, but it just comes across as diva-ish. Like, it sounds like you're a diva. And that's not what we want to deal with if you're looking at reemerging and wanting him to be a major part of what that, getting back on track looks like.
Because John Harbaugh said when they were asking him about Mark Andrews and OBJ not being there, he said, I don't have any problem with that. You don't worry about it much. But that's what he's saying. Deep down, that's got to piss John Harbaugh off. That, like, we gave him this money. We're trying to put a new offense together. Everybody got paid. Everybody should be here. It probably bothered him that Lamar Jackson wasn't there the first day. That's why I just look at it and I go, if this is a big year, as you point out, LaVar, and this is a transition to a new offense and everything that comes along with it, I would hope everybody would be as invested in this team as we've been invested in them.
If you're the head coach, you got to be thinking that. As the leader, the ultimate leader of the team, you got to be thinking that. As a GM, you got to be thinking that 100%.
Well, because we also know a couple of things. Not that John Harbaugh in any way, shape, or form is on the hot seat, but with Lamar's contract he just signed, he sure as heck isn't either. Like, they're not moving on from him. Even if he played poorly, got injured, whatever the case is, at least for 3 years, the way this contract is structured. Like, they are invested into Lamar Jackson for sure for the next 3 years. Maybe you could say heading into year 4. And so if things don't work out over the course of the next couple of seasons, who do you think they're going to blame? They're going to put on John Harbaugh.
Yeah. And
so, I can see where he's probably frustrated because in his mind, with everything that's gone on this offseason and, it took such a long – it felt like it took a long, time to put together an extension. He's thinking, well, all right, we paid the guy. We gave him what he wanted. Now, now we have certain expectations out of him. And we got a new offensive coordinator. We brought in these pieces. And then he doesn't show up. And if we need anyone to show up to set the standard or be the leader, it's him. So, look, we don't know why he didn't show up for the first one. Maybe he was working out with some of the guys in Arizona, right? Maybe there was another legitimate excuse. Like, I don't want to make too much of it, but I'm sure it doesn't sit well with ownership. I'm sure it doesn't sit well with, the head coach or the front office after you pay a guy that and you've got certain expectations and, day one and something that's voluntary where he doesn't have to be there, but he should be there. And he's not. That can't be a good feeling.
How much can you get done as a quarterback with an offense in this amount of time that you have together in OTAs before you guys take off and you come back?
You get a lot done. I mean, this is what people fail to not realize. Everything you're doing right now, all right, in OTAs, that's going to basically be crammed together then once you get your little mini camp that comes in June. And then once the minicamp's over and all that, they basically compile OTAs and minicamp from this time of year, and that's your installs for training camp. So it's all just review. Like everything you do in training camp is review of what you did in OTAs and minicamp. So it really is the foundation to the offense. You're working on the timing and rhythm to a lot of the pass plays and anything where there's going to be drastic change of what you're looking to accomplish. It starts now. And, you went through phase 1, phase 2 of the offseason where you can't really do that. You're not actually out there practicing. Now, no one's banging right now. But, in phase 1, phase 2, it's just working out. It's classroom stuff. It's film. You're not actually on the field and able to, at the facility, do what you could do in OTAs. OTAs is practice. So you actually get the chance to go out there on the field and start working on that. And especially with a new coach, start working with him about how he envisions seeing this the offense play out, That's what makes it important, because you only get so many opportunities this time of year to do that.
And so you can always recall that when you get together in August, like, hey, remember when we did this? This is why. So it's just sort of a rehash to what you did. That's interesting. I didn't know that's how it worked. How about that?